Hi there, I'm Steve and this is the SplashCamBot. It's a rig for taking high-speed photos of water splashes that you'd never see with the naked eye. With the right camera and flash setup you can take these kinds of photos, but if you're doing it by hand it is super hard to get the timing just right. SplashCamBot helps automate that process, the process of releasing an object, waiting until just the right moment, and then triggering a flash. And in the meantime your camera has been sitting there with the shutter open in the dark, happily not seeing anything until that instant when the flash lights up that splash. The key components are an arm on a servo motor that can push something off this little platform, an ultrasonic sensor that measures the distance between the platform and the water below, a circuit that can trigger the flash, and all this is controlled of course by the Arduino, and the program can be operated either from the computer or using a remote control with an infrared sensor. The most interesting bit of hardware here is probably the circuit for triggering the flash. It's built around an optocoupler, which is a little integrated circuit that contains a LED and a transistor. Normally the transistor acts like an open switch, but if you light up that LED inside, then the switch closes. So that means that if you control the inputs to the optocoupler, which of course you can do with the Arduino, then you can open or close its switch on the output. So in this case I use the closing of the switch to activate the flash by creating a circuit through the flash's remote control plug, where I have soldered some leads and those form a circuit on the output of the optocoupler. The most interesting bit of software is probably the part for timing the flash. Because it measures the distance between the platform and the bowl below, it can compute the time it takes for the object to fall and hit the water. Yes, of course I remembered that formula from high school physics. But because we don't actually live in a vacuum, objects actually are going to fall at different rates, of course. And you might also want to time this differently so that you get different types of splashes. So there are also controls for adding or subtracting time to the overall delay between drop and flash. Well, it works pretty well, although my 13-year-old camera is not very cooperative when it comes to getting the focus just right. So really, the photos I've taken are not quite as sharp as I would like, but the mechanics of dropping and timing and taking the photo just when I want actually work great, so I'm very happy with that. The build was a lot of fun, and I actually feel like I learned a lot of useful stuff that I will actually use. Thanks for watching. In extremely tragic news, as I was making this video, I knocked my flash into the bowl of colored water, and it is no longer triggerable through the shoe. Therefore, I cannot take my final photos to include in this video. I think I will order a new flash, and maybe I'll still get my good shots and be able to share them.